Oh man, I can't wait to see all the different things people are saying about me on the internet today. The ick? Me? Not the ick. The ick? Seriously? This has gone too far. This is too much. Fuck this, I'm gonna have to make a video on this bullshit. Today's video is about the ick. If you don't know what an ick is, I wish I was you. An ick is essentially any minor subtle thing that fellas do that ladies on TikTok just cannot deal with and can make her completely romantically disinterested in it. Relatively small little habits that can turn one of these women off of you for life. I don't really know if too many of you fellas truly understand just how dangerous a thing like an ick can be. Especially when every man, every single dude on the planet is a dumbass clueless loser to some degree or another. And triggering an ick in some random obsolete activity that you do as you go about your day to day, an activity you barely even consciously register doing. As you're doing it, can have one of these TikTok ladies go from considering you as a romantic interest, even considering a future with you, marriage, a family, a divorce, the whole lot, to never wanting to talk or associate with you ever again. Let me say that again. An ick is all that it takes for a girl to go from seeing you as a possible romantic interest to a borderline vile human being, unworthy of any association whatsoever. Considering the state of most men that I know, this is a much bigger deal than what we make it out to be. And sure, this would be understandable if a girl's icks were things that were in any way substantial. Things like if a fella's really into ignoring you all day, or being a murderer, or if he's a really big Rick and Morty fan. Or really big into making shitty internet videos with all of his spare time. You're just in general overall terrible human being kind of activity that can most likely tell you a lot about who they are as a person. Then yeah, I could understand how that could turn you off of a guy, sure. But the whole entire point of an ick is that it is all about itty bitty little things. Things you don't even know you're doing wrong until it's completely all over for you. And because of this, a lot of icks are outrageously, dangerously stupid. Like look, here's just a few I found on the internet. Dropping something on the floor, then on the way up banging their head on a table. Sure, this one makes sense a little, I guess. I mean, being ditzy is cute and all if you're like a derpy looking dog or something, but who's really trying to get it on with a golden retriever? Holding an umbrella is enough to give me the ick, but if that umbrella turns inside out, they are never seeing me again. Yeah, just as I told you, it's already getting that little bit ridiculous. You are rolling out men on things that they cannot even control. You know, that's a pretty goofy thing to do. But so is a fella owning an umbrella, so I guess we can let it slide. Running up the stairs on all four. Well, how else do you want me to do it? Men sitting in the bath. Yeah, now this is ridiculous. I love taking baths, and I get that that may be a touchy subject for some people, but really, what's the big deal? You know what, I'm not gonna get into it that much. Let's just go to the next one. The thought of them getting ran over. Them sitting on the toilet. What? What? What the fuck? Would you rather I just sat on the ground? Yeah, clearly a load of these are just a load of goddamn horseshit. The audacity of some of these ladies to call some of these activities icks. I mean, it's clear to me that most of these women just have never met a man before in their lives. But I guess that's kind of just the state of modern dating now anyways. It is clear that these ladies do not really know any fellas at all. Because any lady that does would never ever set her standards this damn high for them. And I guess you can blame the crazy ass bitches for being crazy ass bitches and having standards so damn high, but let's be real, it is the boys that are to blame. You know, this is a problem that starts with men. And I'm not talking about the average man who just so happens to shit in a toilet from time to time. But I mean the men who run social media platforms like TikTok, who give platform to these crazy ass bitches to be crazy ass bitches and to voice and normalize these crazy ass standards. Not to mention the men who own dating apps like Tinder and I meant Bumble. And the men who own Bumble, who have turned dating into this cesspool of stats and toxicity we all know it to be today in the first place. Like sure, yeah, you can blame the women, but at the end of the day, these men are the reason so many women act like they've just never met any men before in their lives. Because of these men that they no longer have had to anymore. And listen, the real issue with icks isn't just the fact that pretty much every single one of these goddamn icks seems to apply to me, but the fact that they kind of are just as bullshit as they seem to be. I feel like a lot of these ladies who love to throw around terms like ick really just don't know how dating and especially how type works in general. Like at all. Sure, ladies, you can tell everybody that you know how you're allergic to men who do this or who do that, or whatever your specific ick may be. And that's cool and all, but I can guarantee you that as soon as someone you genuinely like comes around, someone you actually enjoy spending your time with, that you will forget all about your so-claimed icks, even if he's rocking the socks and sandals combo day in and day out, because things like that just don't matter when you actually like who they are. Because when you actually like somebody, you stop wanting them to be perfect and you kind of just start wanting them to be them. Damn, that was corny. And not based on whether they just so happen to take a shit in a toilet occasionally. And you also have to understand that no matter what you think and you say your green flags and your red flags are, you will never really know what your green flags and red flags are until you've actually met someone who matches your green flags and who matches your red flags. Someone you actually like or don't because of who they are. I don't know. I guess the prime example of this would be those dudes who pretend to care a whole lot about body count and still get with the raunchiest bitches you know every single chance that they get. I hate to break it to you, but your real type, it goes a little deeper than what you just so happen to say that it is right now. Particularly when it comes to how they sit in the bath. No one really cares about that. What I'm trying to say is that your icks, they're kind of just as bullshit as they seem. But that's okay. It's not that big of a deal to stop being such a judgy little prick and actually start accepting others for who they are. I just keep getting cornier. Instead of writing out lists, hundreds of items long, listing out every single thing that your significant other may ever possibly do wrong. I'm not even joking. Some of these lists I found scrolling the internet were really that long. Bitch, chill. And you can learn this the easy way by accepting it now. Or you can just as easily continue on being just as fucking stubborn and pass up on genuinely good opportunities to meet new people and maybe even fall in love with someone, irregardless to the fact that your significant other may just so happen to take a dookie in a toilet from time to time. And if you choose to do things the hard way, hey, that's up to you. I'm not here to judge you. Just don't expect to be fucking anytime soon.